Why is this them drop out in the same sentence as the word oxymoronic, like jumbo shrimp? Mm-hmm. Like fun run. Ain't nothing fun about it. And it's now oxymoronic for me to say third grade and drop out. That third grade dropout, the wisest person I ever met in my life who taught me to combine knowledge and wisdom to make an impact was my father. A simple cook. A wisest man I've ever met in my life. Just a simple cook. Left school in the third grade to help out on the family farm just because he left school doesn't mean his education stopped. Mark Twain once said I never allowed my schooling to get in the way of my education. My father taught himself how to write. Decided in the midst of Jim Crowism, as America was breathing the last gasp of Civil War. My father decided he was going to stand up, be a man, not a black man, not a brown man, not a white man, but a man. He literally challenged himself to be the best that he could all the days of his life. A third grade dropout that who was quoting Michelangelo, saying to us boys, I won't have a problem if you aim high and miss. I'm gonna have a real issue if you aim low and hit. A country mother quoting Henry Ford, saying if you think you cannot, if you think you can't, you're right. I learned that lesson from a third grade dropout. Simple lessons. Lessons like this, son, you'd rather be an hour early. Son, you'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. Son, you'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. Son, you'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. Son, you'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. Son, you'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. We never knew what time it was. We never knew what time it was in my house because the clock's always ahead. My mother set off nearly 30 years. My father left the house at 3:45 in the morning. One day she asked him why, Daddy. He said, maybe one of my boys will teach me and the act of excellence. I want to share a few things with you. Elders daughters and you are what you repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence ought to be a habit, not an act. Don't ever forget that. I know you're tough. I know you're seaworthy, but always remember to be kind. Always, don't ever forget that. Never embarrass mama. Yeah. If mommy ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. If daddy ain't happy, don't nobody cares. But I'm going to tell you. Next lesson. Lesson from a cook up there in the galley. Son, make sure your service tower is bigger than your ego. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. You might have a relative in mind to want to send that too. Let me say it again. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. Pride is the burden of a first person. John Uden coached basketball at UCLA for a living. But his calling was to impact people. And with all those national championships, guess what he was found doing in the middle of the week? Going into the cupboard, grabbing a broom, and sweeping his own gym floor. You want to make an impact? Find your broom. Every day of your life, you find your broom. You grow your influence that way. That way you attract people so that you can impact people. Impact them. Final lesson. Son, if you're gonna do a job, do it right. If you're gonna do a job, do it right. I've always been told how average I can be. Always been criticized about being average. But I want to tell you something. I stand here before you, before all of these people, not listening to those words, but telling myself every single day to shoot for the stars, to be the best that I can be. Good enough isn't good enough if it can be better, and better isn't good enough if it can be best. Let me close with a very personal story that I think will bring all this into focus. Wisdom will come to you in the unlikeliest of sources, a lot of times through failure. When you hit rock bottom, remember this. While you're struggling, rock bottom can also be a great foundation on which to build and on which to grow. I'm not worried that you will be successful. I'm worried that you'll fail from time to time. Person that gets off the canvas and keeps going, that's the person that will continue to grow their influence. Back in the 70s, to help me make this point, let me introduce you to someone. I met the finest woman I'd ever met in my life. Back in my day, we have called her a brick house. This woman was the funniest woman I've ever seen in my life. There was just a little problem. Back then, ladies didn't like big, light old men. The blind side hadn't come out yet. There at quarterbacks and running back, we were at this dancing. Trina Williams from Lone Cook, California. And we were dancing and we were just excited. And I decided the middle of the dancing with her that I would ask her for a phone number. Tina was the first one. Tina was the only one in college who gave me a real telephone number. The next day we walked to Baskin Robbins ice cream parlor. My friends couldn't believe it. This has been 40 years ago and my friends still can't believe it. We got on a second date, and a third date, and a fourth date. We drive from Chico to Vallejo so that she could be my parents. My father meets her, my daddy, my hero. He meets her, pulls me to the side and says, "Is she psycho?" But anyway, we go together 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. By now, Trina is a senior in college, but I'm still a freshman, but I'm working some things out. I'm so glad I graduated 4 times. Nixon, Ford, Carter, Lego. So now it's time to propose, and I talk to her girlfriends, and it's California, it's in the 70s, so it has to be outside, you have to have a candle, you have to have some chocolate. Listen, I'm from the hood, I had a bottle of Bruce Farm Run, that's what I had. She said yes, that was the key. I married the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Even before the wedding starts, you hear this. How in the world? And it was coming from my side of the family. My side of the family. We get married, we have a few children, our lives are great. One day, Tina finds a lump in her left breast. Breast cancer. 6 years after the diagnosis, me and my 2 little boys walked up to mommy's casket. And for 2 years, my heart didn't beat. If it wasn't for my faith in God, I wouldn't be standing here today. It wasn't for those 2 little boys, there would have been no reason for which to go on. I was completely lost. That was rock bottom. You know what sustained me? The wisdom of a 3rd grade dropout. The wisdom of a simple cook from California Maritime Academy. With the casket, I never see my dad cry. But this time I saw my dad cry, that was his daughter. Tina was his daughter, not his daughter-in-law. And right behind my father, about to see her for the last time on this earth. And my father shared 3 words with you to change my life right there at the casket. It'll be the last lesson he would ever teach me. He said, "Son, just stand. You keep standing. You keep standing no matter how rough the sea. You keep standing. And I'm not just talking about just water. You keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up." I learned the lesson from a 3rd grade dropout. And as clearly as I'm talking to you today, these were some of her last words to me. She looked me in the eyes and she said, "It doesn't matter to me any longer how long I live. What matters to me most is how I live." Yes, I ask you one question. A question that I was asked all my life by a third grade dropout. How you're living? How you're living? Every day, ask yourself the question, how you're living. Hey, here's what a cook in the dining center we suggest you to live this way. This way. That you not judge. That you show up early. That you be kind. That you make sure that servant's tower is big or huge and used. That if you're gonna do something, you do it the right way. That cook will tell you this. That it's never wrong to do the right thing. That how you do anything is how you do everything. In that way, you will grow your influence to make it impact. In that way, you will honor all those who have gone before you, who have invested in you, from teachers to grandparents to mom and dad. And when you combine the academic knowledge with their wisdom, oh my goodness, you will change the world. So that class 2017, it is great with great honor that I said all your life, look in those unlikeliest places for wisdom. Enhance your life every day by seeking the wisdom and asking yourself every night, how am I living? May God richly bless you all. Thank you for having me again. I just wake up. Yesterday my work is ended, and today is Tuesday, Friday. No. Thursday and Friday. I don't go anywhere, so I got some take a break. And next week of Monday of next week, I will go another job place. I'm really gonna excited. I'm looking forward to this. Maybe this weekend I will buy some new clothes. That's because I don't have lots of clothes to up to appropriate place or situation. And during repeating this English speech, I can feel about myself enhance, upgrade little bit by little bit, day by day. That's because I during the reading the English speech, I have a little bit. There are some of parts that I have a little bit difficult to repeat them, and as days goes, as the repeating time is accumulated, I can feel a little bit easier day by day. Yesterday, I repeated a little bit, felt hard, and maybe 10 days later, I can easily speak that part. It is the feedback of my grade of English speak is really slow. I can't feel at the time, but maybe 1 week later, 2 weeks later, and I read the same sentences, I can feel not much, a little bit easier for me to repeat. So that part is my what is it called? That part is my favorite part, that I recognized my 발전이 뭐지? 발전? Let me find. Let's use Google Translate. Okay, please help me. It's fun. It's fun to find myself developing. What? It is fun to find myself developing. Wow, Google is smart. Algo. I know, but Google is smart. Anyway, I did my morning English study. I did my best. I can spend more time, but today I got much more things to do. So today is end of English study, and few 1 or 2 hours later I will do I will do bare body squat and push-ups. I have to do something exercise every day because I can feel my body is a little bit